All right, I'm gonna do some spot spraying today. I've got a few dandelions in the yard and some other, maybe some patches of clover and stuff like that. So I really like to minimize the amount of chemical I'm putting down on the lawn. And because I don't have widespread weeds, I'm gonna use spot spraying today. And so what I use for that is just this very inexpensive lawn and garden sprayer. I've had this for a few years. I don't know, it was probably 20 bucks or less. Now this has a very cheap nozzle at the end. It doesn't give out a nice spray pattern, but I don't really care about that because I'm just targeting the weeds with this spot spraying. So it's more visual. I can walk around the yard, find a weed, spray it directly. If you have widespread weeds and you want to cover your entire lawn, you need a better sprayer. Probably a backpack sprayer with a pump. But anyway, you need a nice fan nozzle to give you good coverage going across the yard. Or the hose end sprayers work very well in that case. That's a more aggressive technique if you've got widespread weeds. Thankfully, I do not. And it's the old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So if you keep up on it, and maybe you're in a state where you've got widespread weeds, absolutely go ahead and do a weed and feed granular or a complete spray coverage to get those weeds knocked back. But if you keep up on it twice a year, maybe after the fact, with this spot spraying, that'll be all you need into the future. Obviously, there's other keys about, observing the 1/3 rule when you're cutting, fertilizing adequately, water, all that stuff to keep your grass thick and healthy. And it will keep out the majority of weeds, but you will still have weeds pop up here and there that you need to spot spray. And like I say, once you get to a point, your grass is nice and thick, you only need to do this a couple times a year. I'm gonna use this Ortho product called Weed Clear. So this is a little bit different than their Weed B Gon. Their standard Weed B Gon is basically a 2,4-D product, which is extremely good at killing dandelions. Dandelions are very prolific, but 2,4-D will absolutely take care of them. This Weed Clear product will also take care of crabgrass and clover. So the viney weeds such as clover, the crabgrass, creeping Charlie, things like that, they need a different product. 2,4-D will not touch them. So this one has a quinclorac that goes after those vine type weeds. And even with that, you're probably going to need, if you've got some clover or creeping Charlie, you're probably going to need to hit it 2 or 3 times with this product even. What I do like to do first is fill my sprayer up with water. If you put the product in first and then the water, it tends to foam really bad and takes a while for that to die down. So we're going to fill this up with water first. So I'm going to mix a full batch and just keep it in here for the season. So I'm going to go all the way up here to the 2-gallon mark. I recommend using gloves with all this products. None of it's probably real great to have on your skin. But here we gotta check on the back here in the instructions. And see how much we need to add. You would think this would be extremely clear. They would have it right on the back, but they don't. It's always hidden in these pages. I also recommend shaking this up a bit as some of the contents tend to settle. So the instructions say 2.5 ounces per gallon of spray fluid, so we're going to do that. And again, because we're spot spraying, we're not doing amount of product per 1,000 square feet on lawn. We just want it diluted to the proper amount. So this has a handy cap here that you can use for measuring. All right, so all we have to do here, put our pump on, pump it up, and we're ready to roll. I do like to shake the sprayer up a bit to mix up all those ingredients in the water before we go ahead and get started here. But it seems like if you wait till after you add the water and pump it up a little, get it pressurized in there, it will not foam as much as if you were to add the product and then add the water in. So that's why I wait till now to shake it up good. All right, so now all we have to do is walk around the yard here and search for something to spray. Looky what we found here. So a little spray, you don't need to hose them down too bad. This will not hurt the grass at all, so we just find those buggers and give them a spray. Like I said, the amount of product we're putting on the lawn and in the yard compared to the more aggressive techniques where we've got 100% coverage is a lot less. So I'm just gonna keep doing this. I might do it a couple times this spring because inevitably I miss things. But this is a good way to take care of those weeds, stay in front of them, prevent them from getting too bad so you don't have to do a massive application of chemical on your lawn.